Let's begin with a simple two-part question. How many of us at some point in our lives have been on a treasure hunt? Do we have a show of hands? Most of us, okay. And then, when we were on that treasure hunt, was our heart into it? That is, did we have some fun and place ourselves totally into the hunt? How many did that? Oh, a few of us, okay. I believe Jesus's gospel message today is inviting us into a treasure hunt of the heart, a hunt that will require risk-taking, a bit of faith, as Abraham and Sarah demonstrated in the first reading, and a willingness to look at our passions and priorities. This morning, I invite us to be all in and to be open to the graces of playfulness and insight as we go on a treasure hunt of the heart together. We'll start by taking an inventory of our heart treasures and ponder whether these are lasting treasures or temporary ones. First is the treasure of experiences. Do I enjoy new experiences, or do I prefer routine? Or do I perhaps enjoy new experiences within the routines that I set? Do my experiences reflect my priorities? How about money? Do I spend my financial treasure with intentionality, supporting family and neighborhood events and activities, education, charities, and larger national and international issues? Are my expenditures consistent with my priorities and passions? Where do I place my treasure of time? Am I spending my time where the passions of my heart are leading me to be? How much priority do I give to the heart treasure of prayer? To a time of contemplation with the indwelling presence within each of us? Am I open to different styles of prayer, to different spiritual practices as I journey more deeply into love? Can I see the treasure of prayer as a way to get in touch with the Holy One, embodied in all creation? Can I consider the broken pieces of my life as treasures for the new and different shaping of living that can emerge from them and transform my perspectives? How about the treasure of play in every season, but especially during this play-filled summer season? Whether young people or adults, we all have our play toys that make us happy, and they can take many forms. For some, sporting equipment, swim floats, and super soakers, musical instruments and tools are fun toys. For the chefs and bakers among us, special bake pans and cookware might be our favorite toys. Maybe we're gardeners, and our treasures are flowers whose beauty makes our heart bloom with life. Although these toys eventually wear out or fade, the memories we make with them are stored forever in our heart. These are just some of an endless number of heart treasures. And for each one, it's important to ask ourselves, is my treasure pointing me towards something that has forever significance, toward deepening integrity, consistency of living, congruency of heart? I'd like to share a personal experience that pointed me toward something deeper and is a treasure I will always hold dearly in my heart. Recently, we traveled to Colorado, and early on, I mentioned to our oldest daughter, Dana, that I wanted to hike a 14er, that is, a 14,000-foot mountain. She smiled, affirmed my desire, and to my surprise, a couple days later, invited me to hike Mount Sherman with her, a 14,043-foot mountain near Fairplay, Colorado. I really wanted to hike a 14er, but honestly, I thought it would be next year. However, when she asked me, I was all in. As I mentioned earlier in my homily, all treasure hunts involve risk, require a bit of faith, and cause us to look at our priorities. This treasure hunt of an alpine hike was no exception. The risks were being caught in a storm, or getting altitude sickness, where you feel nauseous or get a splitting headache. I had to have faith in Dana's trail leadership, and she really is an excellent trail boss. And then look at my priorities and stay true to them. So I set 3 goals for this hike. I first wanted to get that top of the world feeling from being so high and gazing at the endless ranges of mountains surrounding us. My second goal was to soak in the extraordinary beauty from that perspective. And the third was to enjoy being with my wonderful daughter, Dana, on the adventure of a lifetime. The hike was everything I could have dreamed of. We began hiking at 12,000 feet of elevation at 5:30 a.m. under the stars in complete darkness, using headlamps to light our way. Within 15 minutes, we experienced first light, followed soon thereafter by a gorgeous sunrise, and then full sun. It was a phenomenal darkness to light experience that transported me physically, emotionally, and spiritually into stunning beauty. As we continued our climb, the views became even more striking, but the amount of oxygen lessened considerably. This left me literally and figuratively breathless. When I finally arrived at 13,800 feet, I had pushed my body to the limit and became aware that everything I wanted was right there. So as Dana continued to the peak, I claimed this top of the world place as my sit spot. I reveled in the extraordinary moment where the air was so thin, I could easily touch the eternal. As I sat there soaking in the stunning beauty, I saw mountain range after mountain range stretch out in the distance. The skyscape was a gorgeous blend of white puffy clouds, bright sunshine, and approaching storm clouds. And I took a moment to reflect on this special time Day and I could share together. When Dana returned, we quickly descended, surrounded by storms, but never receiving them. Although this alpine treasure hunt was 6.5 hours from beginning to end, the experience of that hike is forever imprinted on my heart. It allowed me to see ever more clearly the priority I place on adventure, beauty, and family. I will always be grateful to Dana for her fun-loving spirit and great companionship and leadership on this bucket list adventure, where my heart and treasure were truly one. I invite each of us this week to reflect on what treasures are in our heart and how the Holy One is calling us to live those treasures in the moments of our lives. Be all in and enjoy your treasure hunt.